Good morning, everyone. Today, we will gain some basic knowledge about Code of Criminal Procedure through some basic MCQs. So, without wasting any time, let's start with it. Let's start with the first question, which is the term taking cognizance under the provision of the CRPC 1973 means what? The options are A. Starting a trial, B. Completing preliminary requirements for starting a criminal trial, C. Taking notice of the matter judicially, or D. An administrative action to decide if criminal trial is required. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is, the term taking cognizance means taking notice of the matter judicially. Moving on to the next question, which is under the provisions of the Code of Criminal Procedure, for taking cognizance of the offence, which of the following options will be appropriate? The options are A. Judicial application of mind by magistrate is not needed. B. It is not open to the court to analyze the evidence produced. C. Is an area exclusively within the domain of the magistrate and the officer in charge of the case. Or D. The offence must be committed within the territorial jurisdiction of the first class magistrate. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is, for taking under the provision of the CRPC for taking cognizance of the offence, it is not open to the court to analyze the evidence produced. Let's move on to the next question, which is under the provisions of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, the cognizance can be taken of first, offence, second, accused, third, witnesses, or fourth, offender. Choose the correct option. The options are A. Only first is correct. B. First and third are correct. C. First and second is correct. Or D. First and fourth are correct. The correct option and the correct answer to this question is option A. That is, only first is correct. That means to say the cognizance can be taken of only the offence under the Code of Criminal Procedure. The next question is, in which of the following cases will the provisions of the section 197 of the CRPC apply? The options are A magistrate writing a letter to the district judge that an advocate is rowdy, a big gambler, or a mischievous element. B. Block department officer lodging an FIR against the Sarpanch and the secretary of the Gram Panchayat under section 409 and 34 of the IPC. C. A complaint against the personnel of the BSF alleging that the illegal gratification of Rs 10,000 was demanded from the complainant, and on his refusal to pay, his shop was ransacked and goods taken away. Or D. A judge charged with using a defamatory language to a witness during a trial of a suit. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, under section 197 of CRPC would apply where a judge is charged with using defamatory language to a witness during a trial of a suit. So now let's see what does section 197 states and tells us. Section 197 talks about prosecution of judges and public servants. This section states that clause 1, when any person who is or was a judge or a magistrate or a public servant not removable from his office, save by or with the sanction of the government, is accused of any offence alleged to have been committed by him while acting or purporting to act in discharge of his official duty, then no court shall take cognizance of such offence except with the previous sanction. Clause 2. No court shall take cognizance of any offence alleged to have been committed by any member of the armed forces of the Union while acting or purporting to act in discharge of his official duty, except with the previous sanction of the central government. Clause 3. The state government may, by notification, direct that the provisions of the subsection 2 shall apply to such class or category of the members of the forces shall with the maintenance of the public order as may be specified therein, wherever they may be serving, and thereupon the previous of that subsection will apply as if for the expression central government occurring therein, the expression state government was substituted. Clause 3a. Notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 3, no court shall take cognizance of any offence alleged to have been committed by any member of the forces charged with the maintenance of the public order in a state while acting or purporting to act in the discharge of his official duty during the period while proclamation issued under clause 1 of the article 356 of the Constitution was enforced therein, except with the previous sanction of the central government. Clause 3b. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this code or any other law, it is hereby declared that any sanction accorded by the state government or any cognizance taken by the court upon such sanction during the period commencing on the 20th day of August 1991 and the ending with the date immediately preceding the date on which the Code of Criminal Procedure Amendment Act 1991 receives the assent of the President with respect of the offence alleged to have been committed during the period while a proclamation issued under the clause 1 of the Article 356 of the Constitution was in force in the state shall be invalid and it shall be competent to the central government under clause 1 of the Article 356 of the Constitution was in force and shall be invalid and shall be incompetent for the central government in such matter to accord sanction to the court or to take cognizance thereof. Clause 4. The central government or the state government, as the case may be, may determine the person by whom, the manner in which the offence or the offences for which the prosecution of such judge, magistrate, or public servant is to be conducted, or may specify the court before which the trial is to be held. After gaining some basic knowledge about section 197, let's move on to the next question, which is which of the following requirements need not be followed under section 200 of the CRPC? The options are A. Complainant must be examined. B. The examination of the complainant must be under oath. C. The accused must be given an opportunity to be heard. Or D. The examination of the complainant must be reduced to writing. The correct answer to this question is option C, that the accused must be given an opportunity to be heard, need not be followed under section 200 of the CRPC. So let us now understand what is section 200 of the CRPC, in which the most important thing can be exempted. Section 200 states examination of the complainant. The section states that a magistrate taking cognizance of an offence and the complaint shall examine upon oath the complainant and the witness present, if any, and the substance of such examination shall be reduced to a writing and shall be signed by the complainant and the witness and also by the magistrate, provided that when a complaint is made in writing, the magistrate need not examine the complainant and the witness if the public servant is acting or purporting to act in the discharge of his official duty or the court has made the complaint, or B. If the magistrate makes over the case for inquiry or trial to another magistrate under section 192, provided further that if a magistrate makes over the complaint case to another magistrate under section 192 after examination of the complainant or the witness, the latter magistrate need not re-examine them. So now moving to the next question, which is under the provisions of the section 202 of the CRPC, the magistrate cannot do what? The options are A. Conduct the inquiry himself. B. Ask the police officer to conduct an investigation. C. Ask a person who is not a police officer to conduct an investigation. Or D. Use judicial discretion. The correct answer to this question is option D. That means to say, under the provision of section 202 of the CRPC, the magistrate cannot use judicial discretion. So now let us see what is section 202 of the CRPC. Section 202 of CRPC states the postponement of issue of process. It states that clause 1, any magistrate on receipt of a complaint of an offence of which he is authorized to take cognizance, of which he has being made over to him under Section 192 may, if he thinks fit, postpone the issue of process against the accused, and either inquire into the case himself or direct an investigation to be made by the police officer or by such other person as he thinks fit, for the purpose of deciding whether or not there is sufficient ground for proceeding, provided that no such person, such direction for investigation shall be made in A. Where it appears the magistrate that the offence complained of is trialable exclusively by the court of session, or B. Where the complaint has been made by a court unless the complainant and the witness present has been examined on oath under section 200. Clause 2. If an inquiry under subsection 1, the magistrate may, if he thinks fit, take evidence of the witness on oath, provided that if it appears to the magistrate that the offence complained of is trialable exclusively by the court of session, he shall call upon the complainant to produce all his witnesses and examine them on oath. Clause 3 states that if an investigation under subsection 1 is made by a person not being a police officer, he shall have for that investigation all the powers conferred by this court on an officer in charge of the police station except the power to arrest without warrant. Let's move on to the next question, which is the magistrate under the provision of the section 203 of the CRPC can dismiss a complaint under which of the following? Options are A. Even if the proceeding against the accused have commenced. B. Even if there is sufficient ground for proceedings. C. Even if inquiry under 202 of the CRPC is not done. Or D. Even if the complainant is not examined. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is, under section 203 of the CRPC, a magistrate can dismiss a complaint even if the inquiry under 202 of the CRPC is not done. 203 of the CRPC states that dismissal of complaint. It states that if after considering the statement on oath of the complainant and the witness and the result of the inquiry of the investigation under section 202, the magistrate is of opinion that there is no sufficient ground for proceedings, he shall dismiss the complaint, and in every such case he shall briefly record his reason for doing so. So let's move on to the next question, which is which of the following statements hold true for a plea of guilty under the provision of the CRPC 1973? The options are A. The plea of not guilty is not recognized by CRPC. B. Pleader can make plea of guilty on behalf of the accused. C. The admission made by the accused is binding on him. Or D. Plea of guilty to the capital charge is inadmissible. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is, the plea of not guilty is not recognized by the CRPC. Holds true for a plea of guilty under CRPC. The next question is under section 239 and 240 of the CRPC, which of the following statements are correct? Statement 1. Reasons must be given if the accused is discharged. Statement 2. Reasons must be given if the charges are framed against him. And statement 3. Hearing includes hearing of evidence if needed. Choose the correct option. The options are A. First and second statement are correct. B. First and third statement are correct. C. Second and third statement are correct. Or D. Only third statement is correct. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is, the first and the third statement regarding section 239 and 240 of the CRPC are correct. That means to say, reasons must be given if the accused is discharged, and the court must give reason if the charges are framed against him. So now, moving to the last question for the day, that is, under section 243 of the CRPC 1973, which of the following options are correct? The options are A. A magistrate cannot issue summons to the complainant for being examined as a witness of the accused. B. The court cannot ask the accused to deposit expenses which might be incurred by the witness. C. At the instance of the accused or the complainant can be resummoned. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is, under section 243 of the CRPC, a magistrate cannot issue summons to the complainant for being examined as a witness of the accused. Thank you all for listening to this video till the end and grasping some basic knowledge about CRPC. Thank you.